All right, guys, I have something super exciting for you. I'm going to show you how to create a recipe blog post for Jamaican hot pepper shrimp. And you can replicate this workflow, this process for any recipe blog post that you're trying to create. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll create a new SEO document, and this is going to take a few seconds till it loads. Okay, it's loading up. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and create a title. Jamaican hot pepper shrimp in 5 easy steps, how to make it in the oven. Jamaican hot pepper shrimp, Jamaican cooking, how to maintain your Jamaican hot pepper shrimp. Okay, let's pick one. Generate some description out of it and go next. Now, instead of building out the outline for this particular recipe blog post from sections, section concepts and outlines, I'm just going to skip this and go straight to our editor. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to create an introduction first. Brilliant introduction. So let's go ahead and start with a brilliant introduction. Command, it's going to ask for us a tone. So we're going to enter a tone, 2 kids. Okay, let's go ahead and play this. Perfect. All right. So we have introduction. Now I want to create a recipe description. So the reason why I'm creating recipe description, let me show you this. So we've created a workflow process for creating specifically recipe blog post recipe. And you will see this 7 steps that I have created here to allow you to create recipes at scale. So we're going to just follow steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 7 to create the recipe. So the first step over that you see, step 1 is write recipe description, right? So recipe description, I'm going to convert this into an H2 tag, Control Z. Okay. And I am going to write the recipe description. So let's just click command. There we go. And now I'm going to go to step 2, which is writing the ingredients, right? So let's go ahead and put ingredients, H2, click enter, and let's write the recipe ingredients. So it's saying that this is just it. Let's try one more time and see if it gives us something else. Okay, so 1 tablespoon each of cumin, paprika, and turmeric, 2 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, ground pepper to taste. Okay, it did not give us all the ingredients, I believe. So we're going to delete this and we're going to try again. Okay, all right. So this is it. 6 jumbo shrimps, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon dried thyme leaves, half a tablespoon ground peppers, cayenne peppers. Okay, so I'm going to try a few more times and come up with the ingredients that I feel I want to include in this particular recipe. And if you have your own ingredients, that's great. Okay, so this is giving me exactly that particular thing. Okay, perfect. All right, so now I don't need this. Now I need to jump to the next part, which is actually creating instructions on how to cook this. So let's go ahead and go to instructions, not storage instructions, recipe ingredients, and cooking instructions. Okay, so this is part 3. Let's say I'm going to do cooking instructions now, and I will select this and make it an H2 tag, and then just click command. So please select 600 characters or less, right? So what this does is that it creates instructions based on the ingredients that you provide. So if you can tweak the ingredients by adding an onion here, right? So let me go ahead and add an onion here. So Control C, 1 finely minced onion. Finely minced onions. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do now is select this and command this so that it can give us the instructions. Okay, all right. So it gave us 2 steps instructions for this particular recipe. And I'm just going to paste that in here. Step 1, step 2, you can modify and adjust this if you wanted to. Like making this an H3 tag, because with our steps. And this is an H3 tag as well. Okay, all right. So now we have our instructions laid out. And now you want to go to step 4, which is creating sort of variations for it. So in order to create variations, you can say, I want to substitute this by chicken, for example, right? So let's go ahead and command this. And I will say, I want to do a substitution with chicken. Okay. And I will command. Okay, chicken. This created a small variation of this particular recipe with chicken in it. That's amazing. Recipe variation. and make this an H2 tag, and Jamaican hot pepper shrimp can be an H3 tag. Chicken, okay. Then we could say, all right, I need something else as well. So you could say instead, you can add your own layer of variation by just adding one ingredient that's different than your current recipe. And it will pick that up and create a small description based on that. So similarly, if I was to create a variation, so let's go here and I will just say that instead of chicken mo, I am focused on, you could say, I don't know if it floats well with turkey, but then you can command it again and it will write Jamaican jerk turkey recipe, right? So it's trying to create a version of the same recipe using turkey. Okay, all right. So we have two variations of it. That's good. We can move on. So we got our cooking instructions, our recipe ingredients, our recipe variation. Now we're coming to step 5. Step 5 is writing recipe pairing dishes, right? So that's amazing. All right, let's see what we come up with. Okay, recipe pairing. So this gave us a very good idea on what you can pair this particular recipe with. If you need more pairing recipes, all you have to do is keep clicking this command. It'll keep giving you some ideas that you can keep including. So, okay, you can say this is salad, this is seafood and rice, right? So salad and rice. Okay. All right. Let's go next. Now we have the pairing dishes. Now we need to go to number 6 and need to write storage instructions for this particular recipe. This is not giving us the storage information. Let's go ahead and click on storage again. Okay. All right. So this dish can be stored in the refrigerator for 6 days. Cover shrimp with water and boil until red. Cook shrimp. Okay, so it is writing the storage instructions. And if you're not satisfied with this, you can modify tweak it a little bit or generate a new idea for it. So we can generate a new idea for it and see what happens. The stuff recipe storage instructions. Okay, so it's giving us a little more context to it as well. So you can pick and choose and modify the content a little bit to make it fit your use case. And then you can move on to step 7, which is write the recipe and notes with call to action, right? So notes, or you can also call it conclusion. So let's make it an H2 tag. And now just come back here and press the command. There we go. All right. So we just went from top to bottom of a Jamaican hot pepper shrimp recipe, wrote 748 words in about 10 minutes. All right. You can create different variations of this. You can create different pairings. You can create, you can keep clicking to generate more ideas and keep adjusting this content to create this whole blog post. But the point of this particular video is to show you guys that you can create a workflow that fits the use case of creating any content with outranking. And this is a 7-step process in creating your recipe blog post. So hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next video where we'll cover another use case. Thank you for watching.